Good to have you in the bootleg recording studio.
I love how you soundproof the walls with a mattress.
Yeah, you like that? yeah, that's the soundproofing over in the recording corner.
Chucked a pillow over by my microphone too. So
yeah, that's so it doesn't tip, because that mic's so heavy it'll fall over and land in your lap. Might hit you in the prawn if you're unlucky. That would not be a good start. Alrighty, well, let's have a quick puff on that thing and then we'll just dive on in. Pretty keen to hear what you got to say. Hear about your trip.
How do you want to start it off?
Man, we just kind of start chatting. I mean, I guess just introduce yourself. Give us a bit of a rundown of who you are.
that's
not
a meaty topic to get on.
Not that though. Not that broad. Sorry, just kind of your name, where you from, just the basics.
The classic bio.
Just so everyone knows who we got sitting next to me here.
My name is Jade. I'm coming all the way from California.
Jade
Morgan is my last name. Jade River Reed Morgan.
Yeah.
The whole name. Coming from California. And I am your housemate.
Yeah, you are my housemate. That is exactly right. So, tell us a bit about where you're from in California. Just kind of tell us a bit about your childhood, where you grew up.
Yeah, okay, so growing up in California is there's a lot of variety there. It's pretty, I think a lot of people think of California as, LA and San Diego, but there's a lot to it. So I actually had a pretty polar opposite upbringing. I grew up in Encinitas down in San Diego on my dad's side, and up in Mendocino in Northern California on my mom's side. So yeah, the day-to-days looked a lot different. Growing up in a classic beach town with my dad and just hanging out around the beach and small town community kind of like this, and then being up at my mom's and just being in the middle of the redwood forest on 100 acres in the middle of nowhere and no neighbors and 45 minutes to the closest single pump gas station. So just super different, but that's where I came from in California, and then ended up spending most of my time down in Southern California until I moved away and lived on the Central Coast for the last 8 years before moving to Australia. So yeah, kind of had a bit of north, middle, and south throughout my upbringing, and
spread yourself the whole way across.
Spread myself the whole way across, and
yeah, very good. Oh yeah, sweet. And so you were saying when you were living up in Northern California, I've watched that series. What's it called? Murder Mountain. What's that? Humble. Were you anywhere near that kind of zone?
Yeah, Humboldt's in the same vicinity. There's kind of that triangle zone, but it's Mendocino and Humboldt. And yeah, I grew up in Mendocino, which is right on the border. So Murder Mountain would have only been a couple ridges away from kind of where I grew up. So
same kind of shit's going on up where you were living, or?
Yeah, that's kind of everyone's program up there. You either live in the little city towns near there and kind of work at the Ralphs or the In-N-Out and kind of have that lifestyle, or you live out in the boonies and you grow a crop for a living. So.
Yeah. So did you have growing up? Did you have anything to do with the kind of the whole weed growing industry at all? Or?
Yeah. I grew up on a weed farm.
Sick.
So yeah, Grandpa was kind of leading that. Once he got out of the war, when he was I think he was from 18 to 20 was in the war. Then as soon as he got out, ended up hitchhiking to California and finding some property up in the middle of nowhere, and would grow some bud and then buy some more property and grow some more bud and buy some more property, and ended up being the family compound. So
grew up in Northern California.
Grew up in the middle of it.
Wow, sweet. You said your grandfather was in the war. Like, was that the Vietnam War?
That was the Vietnam War, yeah.
And was he a soldier, or what? What was his role?
I don't know his exact role.
Okay.
He was pretty kind of steered back to even really talk about it. I think it was pretty traumatizing. I don't think many people wanted to go to war back then, so I don't think. I don't think he was there for that reason. It was just you get drafted and you go, and that's what it was. Yeah.
Did he, growing up, did you see the effect on him? Did you see that he was all spun out after
For
it?
sure, yeah, definitely,
heavy.
Full PTSD and
Fire.
Yeah, definitely. You see the effect, but you also see him in his happy place where he's just no one to fuck with him, just in the middle of nowhere, can do whatever he wants on his property with his pot and his family. So he wanted a pretty simple life, and he did it right, and definitely something I aspire to try to do.
Cool.
Later in life as well.
Yeah, sweet. Oh, that's pretty cool. And do you reckon living on that farm influenced you? Do you think, just growing up around that kind of industry and that world, do you think that you saw, I guess, weed in a different light rather than it just being in Australia, smoking billies and being a rough nut?
Yeah.
Over there, from what I know of California, it's a whole different scene. Weed is the herb, the medicine over there, but over here it's just getting ripped and sitting in a car in the car park with your Muppet friends.
Yeah, it was still different back then. It was full hippie style. It wasn't this was pre it being legal and pre it being fully accepted. So it definitely was different. I'd go down to my be where I am with my dad in Southern California and act like I don't know anything about it, and kind of just play the I don't know what that is, and then I'd be up north and that's how I made money. I'd be just trimming buds as a grom and just fully immersed in it. So just having I'd have to kind of hide and pretend I didn't know anything about it down south, and then be up north, and it was so normal. But it wasn't that my grandpa wouldn't even really smoke. He just grew it because that was his job.
Yeah, cool.
But when it came to the later days when I was older, and I'd be like, hey, Gramps, fuck, what do you got? What is this? What is this crazy strain? He's like, it's RGS. Don't fucking worry about it. And I'm like, RGS? What's that? He's like, really good shit. Fucking just smoke it. He just always was so funny and witty, and just would always just don't fucking worry, don't ask questions. He's pretty secretive guy. So
is tell me if this is a bit sensitive, but is your grandfather still alive?
No, he passed away when I was 21.
Okay, so you got a good innings with him there.
Yeah, fuck,
That's pretty cool.
He was a best friend to me, so
he sounds like a legend.
Some serious knowledge from him, and definitely, I think a lot of the reason I do what I do today is because of him.
Of course, of Gramps. Yeah, sweet. How was your recent trip back in the States?
Dude, it was actually a lot more fun than expected.
Okay.
I kind of went home, just my best friend was getting married.
Yeah.
So I went home and that was the only intention, was just go watch my friend get married and see some homies and go see a doctor as well. And then I ended up getting to do that and so much more. It's pretty rare that I'm extending my trip at home. and I ended up extending it.
It was extended, because I was man, he's been gone for longer than I thought he was meant to.
Only a couple extra days, but it was nothing but good times, and ticked a lot of boxes, and got to catch up with a bunch of old homies that haven't seen in years. So was just making the most of being home, and it ended up being really good, and got blessed with good weather and pretty fun waves, and just pretty good times.
Perfect. And tell us about your movie premiere you were doing. What is it? Milked,
yeah.
Milking it.
Milked. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty funny. We went to Indo. You and I went to Indo earlier this year.
Yeah.
And we had a great time. It was super fun, but it wasn't that classic Indo Score Fest.
We didn't really get waves, hey?
We did. We made the most of it. We had so much fun.
We had fun. Yeah.
You can't go wrong at Lakey Peak. But I was kind of all right, that's my last trip to Indo for a while, and then Yeah, I ended up like only a few weeks after our trip, I ended up going right back. And
was it even a few weeks? I felt like a fucking...
It felt maybe
10 days, and then you're gone again. I'm like, you bastard.
Yeah, I had no intentions to do that. But no, I just got the call up from my friends and was like, they're like, hey, like, there's a huge swell and like kind of maybe even 3 swells coming to Indo right now. Like, we should probably get over there. So my old housemate up on the Gold Coast was like, hey, I'm like, your boy's flying me out. Like, I don't even know him. He's flying me to Indo, and I'm like, sick. Like, you're gonna go and film, and like with my best friends, like, I gotta be there. Like,
yeah.
I can't miss that. Like,
yeah.
So it kind of just was something that I knew I had to go, and just dropped everything, and definitely lost a job or two about it, but fully worth it in the end. So yeah, I ended up going to Indo, and we showed up for, it was kind of the first swell of the season. It was really the second swell of the season, but it was the first one with options. So it was like West enough or Super Suck to be good, and a ton of people were in the Mentawise doing this like boat trip, and the whole QS was over in Cruy. So yeah, there was like all these swells going on, but it ended up being like everyone went elsewhere and no one went to deserts, and we were going there just to go check it for a day, then gonna try to go somewhere else, and we couldn't leave. It was just pumping and no one around for like 3 weeks. Back to back swells, and on the in between days we're still pumping. So yeah, it was just basically like a score of a lifetime with my best friends and my other best friend filming the whole thing. So we had all these clips and didn't know what to do with it, and then yeah, kind of just started making jokes like, fuck, should we make a movie? Like, should we do that? Like, I don't know, it's always been a goal of ours to like do that, and we kind of had the clips to do it. So yeah, we ended up doing some movie premieres, and the funny part about it was like we started promoting these premieres, and the movie wasn't even close to finished. Like, yeah. And even if it was close, it was just like edits of surfing, which is to me pretty fucking boring, to be honest. Like, I don't want to go just show surfing.
Yeah, you got to say a bit of...
Yeah, so like I was like, fuck, like what do we do? And like Hookie and I like started throwing back ideas, and we're like, all right, let's like, can we add skits or like add some like just background funny stuff? So we ended up like filming all these skits the day before the premiere, all day long, and then we were up, me and Hookie and I, till like 2 a.m. that night, editing, like throwing an AI generation like voiceover to narrate it, and like chopping up all these clips, waking up at 6 a.m., editing the whole thing until like all day till like 3:30. The premiere was that night at 5. We ended up exporting it, hadn't even watched it, and like Zeke just like threw in his extra like edit into it, so we hadn't even seen his yet. He just threw it inserted it, and we just exported it. And we're like, fuck it, let's just play it, see how it goes. And this was the first premiere. This one, I was in charge of this one, so it was in the hometown in Leucadia, and like, yeah, it was on a Wednesday, so I didn't expect much, but we ended up getting a pretty good setup. My little cousin's band played, and yeah, a couple hundred people rocked up, and the movie played, and people were stoked, and definitely the skits made it. Like, if we didn't have that, like, I don't know, it just wouldn't have been the same. It really brought it to life, so it was definitely worth all the grinding in the 48 hours previous to the showing it. But and then yeah, after that, Skip and Tosh and Zeke were kind of in charge of the La Jolla Prem, and they did not fail on their end. They fucking ended up hiring a mechanical bull, a dunk tank. It was funny. I went and picked up the dunk tank to go drop it off to the venue, and the owner of the venue was like, "You guys got a dunk tank?" And I was like, yeah. He's like, so is that in replacement of the mechanical bull? And I was like, no, that guy's coming in 10 minutes. He was just like, the look on his face, like, you guys are having a fucking party. Like,
you guys are having a rocking party.
We did, yeah. There was like, man, I don't know how many, but it felt like at least 400 people maybe showed up, the whole town, and a couple bands.
I saw some stories, and it looked like it was heaving.
It was raging.
Yeah, it was pumping.
And I don't know. I've never been a part of anything like that. I've always been there to support my friends doing that. So to have a minor role in that, and yeah, just it was. I've never felt so much love. It was awesome. Like everyone was so stoked and came out, and I don't know. I just didn't expect that 2 weeks ago or whatever. If you asked me if that was going to happen, I would have been like, oh fuck, that thing's a myth. Like that movie's not getting made. And then now it's like, fuck, I think we're having another premiere in a couple weeks on the Gold Coast, and then
really,
yeah,
are they coming over?
I don't know if they're gonna come over. Me and Hookie are gonna try to do it though.
Yeah,
so
you got to.
Yeah, just keep it going. It's pretty funny. So
you should just bust your work every single day until then. Just take a week off and go.
Yeah,
keep
I only need a couple days anyways to just go up and show it. But yeah, so that was pretty cool. Actually.
That looked sick. That looks really good. I just for the record, I haven't even watched it yet. Can I? No.
Dude,
it's just Prem. It's not on the internet.
It's literally just on the computer, on a hard drive right now.
Yeah.
I actually No, I do have it on my hard drive. So I think I can, but yeah, there's no link yet. So
yeah.
but I actually think
till
I
everyone's seen it or
downloaded
something.
at least the first draft of it. I think I have on a hard drive. So yeah,
Sick.
I think I can show you.
Maybe we should have a private screening then.
Yeah, private screening. We'll do that.
Private screening.
But yeah,
Sweet. Well, fire out. That's just been the full tour. Yeah, man. Fire. Like, I'm surprised you came back tan. You did that much time under the curtain. Now I thought you'd come back white as a ghost. I couldn't believe it. Fire out. You just were getting funneled. And then what the West does to just get more tubes and just going, is this guy kidding me? I'm just here living, working. You're just getting barreled. Come in like a few days, see a barreled again. I'm like, holy crap.
there was a crazy run there where I just like, I don't know. I haven't done that in so long. I've been working so much and just straight 8 years of uni into moving out here into a full-time job, and just like, I don't know, I never got that like summer break or that time to kind of just process everything I've just done over my whole life, I guess.
Yeah.
And so I definitely took a few months when I came down here. Unintentionally, like I came down here working, and I was working hard the first couple months
you
here.
were cranking it for a bit. Yeah.
And then when my visa ended, it was just like, fuck, I don't have that much work right now. Like it's, like I've saved up a bunch of money. It's prime swell season. Like I might just do a couple bouncing trips, and they're all last minute. Like I never get to do proper strike missions where you're like, oh, there's a swell, like let's go. Like
yeah,
I'm always kind of booking in advance and hoping for the best.
Yeah,
or just going to safe bets. You know, going to Indo during prime season, like you're gonna get waves. But
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, these ones were pretty sporadic. Like that WA trip, I bought the ticket the day before.
That was crazy.
And thought I was going for a week. Stayed in the swag for 3 weeks and had the best time of my life. So.
Oh, that looks so sick as well. Fire out. Yeah, it was hard sitting here, just some days waking up and just kicking a shovel, hitting rocks, just trying to dig a trench, and just thinking, that prick's just getting so hyped right now, you fucker. But that's sick. Like I was just like, wow, he's proper scored.
Yeah.
Like that's about as good a waves as you can get in a whole year. You just pretty much got is pumping surf everywhere you went. It was
an absolute dream run over here.
Yeah. So you're in Oz now. What's your plan? What are you doing in Oz? What's your next move?
I'm just bunkering down for the summer because it's a good time to work, and you know there's a lot of people want to leave, and I don't want to leave. I just want to be here. So
yeah,
good opportunity for me to kind of swoop into their places, pick up some shifts, and hold it down. And yeah, my plan is just to enjoy it. I'm just such a peaceful, simple life here, and I don't know, just so blessed. It's been a dream of mine to live here, and the fact that it's a reality now is I'm just trying to just soak it in every day and enjoy it. So.
Oh, how nice is it moving to a new place? And just the first year living there, you're just going, are you kidding me? I live here. And then after a couple of years, you're kind of like, oh, now I'm starting to see the cracks in this joint down.
I don't know about that because, like, I don't know where I lived before. When I moved to the Central Coast for college, or, I was like, I fell in love with it day one. Like, wow, this is the same kind of feeling I got when I came here, and I fell in love with it more and more every day throughout the whole 8 years.
Yeah.
It didn't get worse. It just kept getting better, and like. So it was going to be a challenge for me to move somewhere that reciprocated that feeling, and you know, and this is that like times 10, I think, and I don't find that fading anytime soon, to be honest.
Yeah, it's good. And it was cool too because even before Misfit linked us up or tried to link us up that time or whatever, remember that?
Yeah, like on the email.
I think in the email, you came down or something, and they're like, hey Jake, this is like. This lad Jade from the States who rides for Misfit as well. We want to link you guys up, have a surf, catch up. And I don't know if I was away or...
Yeah, I came down and like...
I didn't even see you,
I was up like Thirul area and then ended up coming down the few days that you came up there. So we just swapped places and I just missed you, but
yeah, you were hanging out with a few of the lads. But so yeah, you've known like... Those younger boys like Auden and Luke, you've known them for years, have you? Or?
Yeah, I met them that first time I came down a few years ago before I moved to Australia. I came down... Well, I was supposed to come here for 3 days to meet up with Misfit and pick up some boards, shake hands, say my thank yous, and just show face in person because they'd been sponsoring me for a couple of years, and they're an Australian company. I'd never been here, never met them in person, so
Fully.
I was just doing my due diligence and coming out. Just wanted to say thank you and put a name to the face, and supposed to be out here for 3 days and then go to Indo for 3 weeks, come back for 1 day, and then fly out. Ended up having the best 3 days down on the in Coaldale area with some friends from Indo that I'd met in the years prior, and was like, wow, this is the sickest place. Like, I don't want to go to Indo. Like, I just want to stay here. So I ended up bailing on my flight, which turns out was funny. I actually had already missed it because I didn't calculate the time change, like the day difference.
Wow.
So I had already missed and it was a lost cause anyways, but it was perfect. So I ended up doing 2 weeks on the South Coast and then 2 weeks on the Goldie.
Yeah.
So when I was up on the Goldie, I was staying with Kersey, who was like a mentor of mine, who ended up inviting me back to come out for work. But when I was down on the South Coast, I was with my friends who, grew up in that Wollongong, Coaldale area. And one of them was like, hey, we should go down to the South Coast, down to like, Ulladulla Zone. I was like, yeah, sick. Like, my friend told me that I should link up with his friend that lives down there. And so Cody Angelini, actually, who I grew up with in Encinitas, moved to Australia when he was like 14. Hadn't talked to him hadn't seen him in like 12 years, 14 years, but always stayed in touch. And I was supposed to meet up with him. I couldn't meet up with him because he was in Indo. So he linked me up with Iden. And so I just came down, and Ida was like, hey, yeah, let's meet up. Let's meet at Haydo's Pies. And, yeah, just, like, met up at Haydo's.
That's a good place to make friends.
Yeah. And
he's just so stoked.
We were just cruising. He's like, yeah, let's go check the waves. Like, he's like, pull up to my house, and we'll go check the waves. So I was like, all right, cool. Thinking, like, we'll go pull up to his house and then take one car and go check the waves. But, yeah, we pulled up the Flatty, and he's like, yeah, so that's the Balmy, that's Flatty, that's the... And just showing me all the spots from the house. I was like... First time I've seen the coast down here. I just drove down blind at 5 in the morning.
Into that house. That's crazy.
5 in the morning, blind, straight into Haydo's Pies at sunrise, and then into Idaho, just showing me like his zone. And
living
like,
pretty much in the barrel.
I was like, this fucking stretches, and how's this coastline? This is crazy.
Yeah.
And so we ended up spending the next 3 days together, just sharing nothing but good times, laughs, and tubes. And I was just like, wow, this is somewhere I need to end up coming back to. Like, whether I can live here one day, I don't know if that's possible, but this is somewhere I'm going to return for the rest of my life. Just that feeling like, wow, this is special. So that's it. That's how I kind of met all those boys back then before I lived here. And then I had to go back for uni and did that for 7 months. And then, had the opportunity through an internship to move to the Gold Coast. And did that for a year before I ended up coming down here.
Yeah. And you lived up there for a while, huh? How long did you live in the Gold Coast?
I did a year up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mentioned before, Kersey offered me to come out and work for him. That just worked out to where I needed to do an internship for uni, and he offered me a job, and it worked out that those can work together, and I was able to move out for that.
Wow. And then so that was like, you were working for Pedal, was it?
Yeah, so I was working, basically Josh Kerr and Chippa Wilson licensed this electric bike company called Pedal.
Yeah.
So they brought it over to Australia, and I was just kind of in charge of running their Australia division. So I was
running that program,
just managing that company, and it was such an awesome experience getting to I didn't know what I was in for. I thought I was gonna come out and work for like one of the surfboard companies he was involved with, and last minute he's like, hey, like I actually got this other company, can you do it? And I was like, dude, I don't know anything about electric bikes, but I know a bit about business. That's what I studied. So let's see what I can do. And he just rocked up day one. He's like, here's your truck. Gave me like Chippa's old like vintage 1960s like Chevy truck. And he's like, here's your office. Opened up the garage, and there's just like 300 bikes in there, and an office upstairs and a workroom. He's like, all right, here's a computer, here's a phone, here's your inventory. Like, let's see what you can do. And just
good luck.
I got given a business basically, and ended up being so awesome, like getting to do so much. Like, but then you start putting the roles to it. You're like, wow, all right. So I'm the manager, I'm the head of logistics, I'm back end marketing, social media. Okay, I need to learn how to use these bikes, how to sell these bikes, how to demo them, how to have events, how to sell them to shops, distribute them, and then also need to learn how to fix them, be the technician. Like I don't know, I didn't know anything. So like to come in and just full force, just get thrown into it was like kind of the ideal dream. It's like you got given a startup.
You had no option.
You have no option but to learn. And I just came straight out of 8 years of uni. I'm ready to learn again. Like it was fully exactly what I wanted. Huh? So super grateful I got that opportunity, and super fun. So I was doing that up there for work, and then also teaching pottery on the side at one of the studios in Burleigh. So just to switch it up a bit and have some
was that like a paid job? Like were you a teacher and people would pay to come to a class with you? Is that how?
So it's like it was a full studio. It was such a cool studio. They did like breath work and yoga classes, and then it was a full gallery as well. So
where's this Burleigh?
Art exhibitions and in Burleigh, just on James Street. It's called Dirty Hands.
Yeah.
And so I was one of the sip and spin instructors. So like couples or whoever would come in for a sip and spin class, you'd bring a bottle of wine, and then I'd teach you for 2.5 hours, and you'd end up walking out of there with like 2 to 4 finished pieces.
What? That's sick.
So they'd come in for that, and then I'd come back in the next day, trim it, and then fire it, glaze it, fire it again, and they'd come back, a week or 2 later to pick it up. So
like what you did with mine.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I jammed my fingers about 3 times. The thing turned into
you're a natural.
elongated, wobbly oval.
Yeah,
and
right.
then you polish it up, and I wrote my initials on it.
Just-
Gave it to someone as a present.
It's the thought that counts. You killed it.
Yeah, I couldn't. I remember I even tried to put my name on the bottom with that little thing, and I kept sticking it. I couldn't even write my name on it. I was like, oh god, you just write my name as well, would you?
It's just like, well, if you went a little bit too deep, then there'd be a hole, then it wouldn't be holding water for the cups. There's just like the little things on your first go that like you definitely want to get walked through instead of just winging it, just to make sure it works at least. Because I know as a president we had crunch time, and like it's like, all right, let's just make this sure this thing can hold some coffee in it.
Yeah, let's just get this thing cranked out. And now, like you were saying, now that spinny, what's it called, the wheel?
Yeah.
You were saying our wheel's just got one setting, hey, so it just spins like at one speed, and you can't adjust it or something. People say you can get them going real slow. This thing's just going...
No. So like a normal wheel that works, like you can just change the speed. It's like pedals, so you can go slow or fast, and that's what you need for pottery. There's so many different speeds that you need to throw at.
Yeah.
The one we have here is broken, so it's like it's a 1980s Venco, it's a fucking antique, and the engine keeps dropping out because there's like super loose bolts. I'm not really sure what the issue is. I still haven't quite figured it out, but basically the engine drops out. So I just locked it into 4th gear into full speed and then zip tied it. So that's just the speed it's stuck on, so it works, but it still drops out, but not as much.
Yeah,
but it is an annoying wheel, and it's not easy to get a piece off of it. But yeah, so it wasn't.
So I'm not a complete pleb.
No way, you're definitely not a pleb. And I saw that you have natural talent. Like given the proper studio in a couple of days, you'd be on fire.
Yeah, I'd be keen. Like after just doing that, it's pretty interesting. Like just even the feeling of it.
Yeah, I mean you're just playing with
it's very
earth.
sensory. You're just like nice and smooth, just whipping around your hands. You're making this beautiful thing grow off the table. You're like, jeez.
It just comes out of the ground and you just mold it into whatever you want. It's a pretty crazy concept. It's fun.
So, just like, have you had any like major, like throughout your life, like whether it be living here or like, just any major incidents that have been like life-changing events? Because I know that like we were talking about it and you mentioned a couple like pretty crazy moments in your life. So I thought they're pretty life-changing events, I guess.
Yeah, I've had quite a few, definitely life-changing moments. But yeah, I think that one we were talking about in particular was like probably my biggest life-changing moment when I was 17 when it happened. Just got in a pretty serious car accident. Yeah, it was basically, I don't know, just kind of like prior to this, I was definitely didn't have like the right trajectory, just didn't care much, and just I don't know, I wasn't going down the worst path, but I wasn't going down the best path. And yeah, just after a pretty big weekend and just making poor decisions, I ended up after an all-nighter just trying to go surfing in the morning and fell asleep behind the wheel and went into a tree and ended up biting my tongue off and swelled up so much it blocked my airway, so I couldn't breathe. And ambulance barely got to me in time, but they got tubes down my throat and brought me into the ICU where I lived off breathing machines for a few weeks, and sewed my tongue back together and ended up having to like relearn how to walk, talk, eat, drink, and breathe again. And then another outcome from that was I ended up getting a brain aneurysm. So those things were like, having your whole everything taken away from you and having to relearn again taught me, a million life lessons. And then also getting an aneurysm I had to change some behaviors and kind of change my life trajectory into a healthier way. Yeah. So yeah, that was a huge moment for me. And like,
did you go through the windscreen?
I didn't go through the windscreen. I was wearing my seatbelt, thank God.
You smashed your head like on the front of the car or something?
Yeah, split my eylet open.
Holy crap.
Like I was all I got stitches on my eyelids and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
yeah, so I didn't go through, but the whole tree went into my car and the thing blew up, and like, yeah, thank God there wasn't a passenger with me and all that. But yeah, the craziest thing, it happened on Mother's Day morning, and like, I don't know, for me, like, that's a pretty special day for me. My mom passed away when I was 9, so I always take that day to kind of celebrate life and just give my thanks. And yeah, for it to happen on that day was a pretty crazy calling. Like, hey, this isn't your time. You got to
Mama saying, calm down there, cowboy.
Not yet. You're not joining me yet.
Yeah.
You got another chance, and don't fuck it up. But like, yeah, switch your ways and enjoy life because it's precious. And yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, my whole life mindset and everything changed after that.
On that day.
On that day, just I had to. Like, there was no other option. Like, oh, cool. Like, there's no more fucking around. Like, you've got an aneurysm. Like, don't. Like, you're not doing anything stupid anymore.
Can you explain the aneurysm a bit more?
Yeah, so I got a blood clot in my carotid artery, and that's the main artery that flows blood from your heart to your brain. And so what it is this, like, yeah, this blood clot in there that is blocking it, and it can burst. So if it bursts, then you have a stroke, and you just die. So things that can make it burst are like, I'm obviously like I can't get on the gear or like do anything like that, any stimulants or anything. So yeah, from 17 onward, I would just no drugs, none of that, like just cold turkey quit everything. So yeah, there's just things that you got to do to be precautious and not have high blood pressure and just try to just live a peaceful life and something with low stress, because stress is such an inducer for it as well. So just trying to keep stress down and just the heart rate down, and which is, it's funny because I like doing things that bring the heart rate up, but no, it's just lifestyle and health choices, and just avoiding once you know you have it, it's beneficial. Like, it's such a blessing in disguise, because had I not known I had it, like, I probably wouldn't still be here today,
Yeah.
I would have been making decisions that could have.
Was that from the injury? Or was that just getting around in there?
So that's what they didn't know. It could have been from the injury for sure, but it also could have been because of so many prior head injuries. But yeah, that's still not certain of what it was. But because I was in there for so much stuff, I was getting all these CAT scans and MRIs, and so that's when they found it, because they were doing the deep research on my brain.
Yeah, right.
So it was a major blessing in disguise, and if it was before too, it's just like, all right, Mother's Day morning, this is gonna happen to you. You're gonna get another chance. You're gonna learn that you got this. You're gonna switch your ways, and you're gonna take this trajectory, and that's how life has to be from now on. And man, it's made the world's difference. I've been so happy since then, like, just so grateful for life and so appreciative for just the smallest things, like having to have, like, getting a warm meal. Like, I remember the first burrito I had after, just an egg and avocado burrito, and it was warm, and I was like, the joy I got from that was just
How long couldn't you eat for?
Level.
Stitching your tongue.
I don't remember exactly how long, but the whole time I was in the hospital, I was off tubes, so I was just living off like, smoothie or juice, whatever they're feeding you.
Snack, big burrito.
So I think it was like a couple of weeks later, whatever, however long the tongue heals fast. I think it's the fastest healing muscle in the body. I don't know if that's a fact.
Yeah, the mouth. I know it's something.
I know the tongue is like, and very impressively healing.
Wow.
So I was I don't know how long later it was, but yeah, so I was healing from that, and then ended up, let's see, this would have been like a couple months later. I was gonna go surf for the first time, and Kersey took me down to Mexico on the jet ski, and had the sickest day, just doing step offs and getting barreled for the first time again. I was so happy, and awesome day. And ended up coming home from Mexico that night and going to the skate park, and did a little air up this gap and broke my tibia.
Is tibia the main bone at the front of it?
Yeah, so you got the tibia and the fibula, both there. So
the tibia's the front one, eh?
Yeah, so I broke the tibia, and then a month later, Kersey was going to Hawaii for the Triple Crown, and was like, hey, like, I know you don't have your license, because I got my license taken away from me from the accident, and they're like, I know you don't have your license, but take my brand new Tundra and use it while I'm gone to take my son to school. You just need to take him calling to school once a week, and then you can use my moped to get around when you're not using it. And so I was like, all right, that's so awesome, thank you. Like, I'll take Colin to school once a week, and I'll use the moped to get around, because I was like, fuck, I'm scared to drive your brand new Tundra. Like, I'll just take the moped, no worries.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the moped to school, and like, it's like week 1 of the job. I think I dropped Colin off once, and like, it's like, maybe week 2, and my best friend was like, hey, I had a free period at school. He's like, hey, I'm super hungry. Can you go get me tacos? And I was like, yeah, no worries. So anyways, bailed school early to go get my friend tacos and came out of the dirt lot at school and just like slipped in some gravel and fell on the moped and just broke the mirror and shit. But ended up like breaking my tibia and fibula and growth plate. Re-breaking the fibula and growth plate on impact. And I didn't know because I was still in my boot. I was in so much pain, obviously, but I was still in my boot and in shock. I was like, fuck it. Gunned it to the taco shop. Got my friend the tacos. Got back to school, called him. I was like, dude, I can't deliver that. I'm in so much pain. Like, I think I just broke my foot again. He's like, what? And, like, ran out. I was like, go to the hospital. So I ended up mopeding to the hospital, getting in there, limping, and, like, yeah, took the boot off. My foot just fell apart. Straight into surgery. 6-inch plate, 5 screws in a rod. And then, yeah, a month later, I'm camping in Halama, like, up the coast with my friends, and I'm just watching them surf, filming them on the beach. Finally took my boot off to get some sunlight for the first time. And yeah, filming them, like just cruising, borrowing this camera, I got like a backpack, all the shit around me, like my phone, headphones, and looking back at the campgrounds and not looking in front of me, and the rogue set comes up and just starts washing all this water up towards me. I was like, fuck, so I get up as quick as I can, grabbed everything and forgot I wasn't in my boot, stood up and broke my metatarsals. So now I've broken my foot in like 5 places, 3 different times in 3 months after this accident, so... yeah, this is like now, yeah, like I'll just fast forward to like 11 months. I still haven't surfed. And I had just graduated high school a little bit early, graduated a semester early, and was moving down to Costa Rica. So my family's like, hey, before you move to Costa Rica, let's do this family trip to Nicaragua and say our goodbyes, and, you know, we'll send you off down there. So I was like, all right, sweet, let's do it. So I'm like, all right, I'll surf for the first time in Nicaragua. It's been a fucked year. Like, let's just get down there and I'll ease into some nice Colorados and just have a good time and just take it easy. So we get down there and I bring my best friend, the one who I went to go get tacos for. So he's down there in Nicaragua and he had never been and I had been quite a few times before. So I was like, hey, day one, I'm like, let me go show you the town next door. Let's go show you Gigante, like the neighboring town from Colorado. It's just to get out of the gated neighborhood, go show him a bit of culture, and hopped on the dirt bikes, went over there, and yeah, on our way back, he's just like, we're kind of racing each other and like kind of fucking around on the road on the dirt highway. And yeah, ended up, he's kind of going a bit faster and then started like cutting me off as this pack of cattle were crossing the road. And I just got basically locked with nowhere to go. So I was either going to run him across the road, hit the cattle, or just lay the bike down. So I just laid the bike down, took all the skin off my hands and knees. Didn't surf once in Nicaragua. So I'm like, at 11 and a half months now of like, not surfing and just having just a crazy year of just battling basically.
Yeah.
And ended up moving down to Costa that week, and yeah, week 1 went out on the boat. I was helping my friends run this like boat chartering business, taking families down there and hosting like ecotourism trips and taking them to waterfalls and out on the boats and fishing and surfing in the national park.
Was this in whereabouts?
This was on like Guanacaste, no, very northwest Costa Rica, so just bordering like in the Guanacaste region, so like Santa Rosa National Park. It just basically borders the northern part of Costa Rica and Nicaragua. Yeah. So yeah, I was down there doing that and working with one of my best friends and another one of our best friends who was the boat captain, Jose. And Jose had, so we ended up going out and having a fun sesh finally, getting back in the water. And then that weekend, Jose was like, hey, like I got Costa Rica National Championships if you want to come down and watch. I was like, no way, like let's like, fuck yeah, I'm coming down to watch. That sounds awesome. So we get down there and the waves are just absolutely pumping. The comps at Playa Negra, this like pretty fun right reef. It's like, yeah, just little tube section, super rippable. And I was like, dude, can I do this contest? Like, this sounds like this. Like, I don't know, can I do this? This looks awesome. He's like, oh, it's kind of like a local zone. It's the national champs one. Like, he's like, but I guess you just moved down here, so let me see if I can pull some strings and get you in the comp. I was like, fuck, all right, sounds good. So ends up getting me in the contest, which starts on a Friday. And yeah, made all my heats Friday, made all my heats Saturday, and all the boys like kind of went out and had a huge one. I like kept it all mellow. I don't know why. And ended up like waking up Sunday ready to go and ended up taking out the contest.
Yeah.
And it was Mother's Day morning 1 year after the accident.
What the heck?
Which was a crazy one for me. I didn't win any contests growing up or even like get to that level. And the boys I was against now are all like they're next level, like all the top Costa Ricans. So it wasn't like an easy comp, but it was. I don't even know. I just got my mama was with me for sure. Definitely was looking after me, and I had a fucking rough year, but it all turned around at that moment, and that was like a huge. This is basically a long story. All to bring in that 1 year together, because it was just one life-changing moment. Was like, it wasn't just one moment; it was a whole year's worth of just
exactly
of just copping it, and then
whole year of life-changing.
And after that, it was just like, wow, life is so good. Like, on just such a roll. I was like, okay, where to next? Like, I'm gonna go to Indo. So after like 6 months of working down in Costa, I ended up going to Indo for 3 months and having the best time. And then after that, I was like, where do I go next? And basically I got offered a room on the central coast of California when I was in Nicaragua. And I was like, I don't want to go there. I'm not going to school or anything. And then the kid I was with in Indo was just basically like, hey, you should go to school. Like, what are you going to do when you get home? Like, so I didn't really have a plan or trajectory or anything like that. I hadn't even thought about it twice. So I ended up taking that offer that I got, moving into this random house in San Luis Obispo, where I was like, I don't even know what that is. It's a college town. Like, I had known about Morro Bay and Pismo and all the neighboring towns, but didn't know about this college town. I ended up moving there and falling in love with it, and that's where I lived for the 8 years prior to Australia, and that's where I ended up going to school for the whole time. And
what school did you go to?
So to get into the universities in California is like extremely difficult. So unless you tried really hard in high school and applied and did all your SATs and all the essays and whatnot, you can't go to like a nice school. So I started off at the community college, which was awesome. It was like a perfect zone in the middle of the mountains, like just real beautiful campus and pretty close to the main college, which is where I lived right in front of. So that was called Cuesta. It's a community college. I ended up getting like my first year or two for free, which was cool because it looked like I was a local because I changed my ID to be from there when I moved there. So I was just finessing the system and going to school for free and working on the side and just enjoying that. And then I ended up going there. I didn't really have the intention of going to the main university because it was so far out for me. It was like that's a dream school, but there's no way I'm gonna ever get into it, sort of deal. And then I just kind of fell in love with the community college and started doing good and kind of loving the academics more and more every quarter, and got good grades and put my head down. And after 5 years, I ended up getting into the main Cal Poly University, and ended up studying there for 3 years and getting 2 degrees from there. And just I ended up not like, if in high school, if you asked me about university, I would have ran away from the conversation. I didn't want to hear anything about it.
Didn't want to know.
And then that all changed when I started going and realized the benefit.
Or just realized
there was just so many positives from it, and like I just fell in love with it again and ended up doing 8 years of it. So
I think also choosing your learning, being like, I want to go and learn about this.
No one forced me to do it.
Yeah.
No one was like,
that's sick. When you're at school and they're like, you have to do this, you have to do that, you're like, I fucking hate what, I'm not going to say a specific one because I can't think of one, but I hate it. I don't want to do it. And you go into that class and just fart ass around because you don't want to do it. Yeah,
for sure. Of course, there's those like general ed classes that you got to take that no one wants to take. It feels like busy work. But there's also the opportunity to like delve into so many awesome subjects that you would be interested in, and just the resources that I was given were second to none. Like I was I ended up being the pottery teacher at my university as well, and got given like the opportunity to teach in this huge studio, the craft center, where there was a shaping bay, a wood shop room, surfboard shaping, like jewelry design, stained glass, wood shop, whatever you wanted to do was in this craft center, and I got to work there and be a part of it, and it was just such a cool community place. So having those resources, and then even things like I joined the entrepreneurship club, and like for fun we'd go down and have these like hackathons or startup launch weekends where you'd go down and not know anyone, go down to the hot house in downtown and have this like little mixer event, meet a couple people, and then they become your business partners for the weekend, and for the next 72 hours you're just head down building an entire viable business to then pitch in front of mentors and investors at the end of the weekend for a contest.
What, with people you don't know?
You don't even know these people. You go down,
hell?
So you have like a coder, a designer, a builder, a manager, whatever. So you have your roles. You come in with these roles depending on your background.
Yeah.
You meet these people, and then you completely from a fresh start build a business and then pitch it like So I was doing those pretty often, and just really involving myself in the resources they offered, because I don't know, I didn't come out straight out of high school and like parents paying your way to college and just going to a 4-year university and getting in and out, not liking it. Like I worked hard, I paid for myself, got myself to do that, like to be there, and so I appreciated it a lot more than other students, I think.
Course, yeah, that makes sense.
Just I was 26 when I graduated.
Yeah.
Which is people are in and out from 18 to 22, like done.
Yeah.
And I was still going. So I was a super, 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 super senior, but I think it was such a valuable time in life for me to be able to be there, and I just appreciated it so much more having. I don't know, I didn't fuck around. I was just like, I actually want to be here. I want to learn.
I'm choosing to. Yeah.
I want to be here. I want to take advantage of these resources. I want to network. I want to meet these people. It was cool to put myself in that environment. It was one of those ones where it's there was a lot to do around that town. So one day I'd be up in the mountains backpacking, just on some crazy solo mission in the middle of nowhere. And then the next day, I'm pitching this business idea in front of mentors and investors, and then you can have these polar opposite kind of days there.
Yeah.
And
if you I was just trying to work it out. If you were to pitch an idea to a mentor or an investor, and they like it, and you're just studying it, can they just take your idea? Can you actually make something of it there, or is it more
that's the whole? They want you to make something of it. No one's gonna take your idea. They're there to back you and to support you in any way possible. So many businesses have come from that school.
Yeah, right.
That so many senior projects, and just through that club and through that minor or major at school, so many successful businesses come from there. And ones that I use today, you go to any
Scrub Daddy.
I don't think Scrub Daddy. That's from Shark Tank. That's from Shark Tank.
Yeah.
But Jamba Juice, for example, or Guayaki Yerba Mate, or MindBody, the software system that every health and wellness uses. There's just endless startups that come from this school. So even the people that start those businesses come back and try to recruit you or help you in any way, and just give you the right advice and steer you in the right direction, and give you the necessary tools to build that business. So that's what we were doing, and having a lot of fun with it, and just cool to put your mind to use and do things with people you wouldn't normally interact with too. I'm in these groups with these crazy coders and back end builders that are just know how to code an entire website. None of my close friends know how to do that. Yeah. So you're putting yourself in environments with people you normally wouldn't spend time with, which is really fun.
Yeah, it sounds really cool. It sounds sick. Man, I'm just so disconnected from uni world.
Yeah, it's a different world, and I was as well. I'd immerse myself in it, and then I'd be a completely different human the next day and just be gone. Like I said,
just got to go into character.
Yeah,
today
just
I'm uni Jade.
Yeah, I think I love.
Were you wearing the specs?
Yeah, I'd wear my glasses for sure, of course.
Looking for
sometimes I'd have a full proper ponytail and be in a suit and going to give speeches. And the day before I had a full beard and was in the mountains. I definitely feel like you're living multiple lives.
Bit of shape shifting.
Yeah, for sure.
Got to be able to do it if you got to. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, I mean, I just busted my ass, got an ATAR for nothing just to prove everyone wrong, and then got an apprenticeship. Now I'm a plumber. Which is pretty sick.
No, it is sick, and I think I appreciate the trade so much. Moving out here and seeing that, most people are learning a trade, and it's such valuable work and such necessary work. And at home, it's different. No one's going to study a trade. No. Everyone's going to get a degree for some sort. We have our manual labor is covered. We've got that done. So there's not a whole lot needed, and if you're going to school, you're studying construction management, so you're just going straight to the top of you're not doing any of the hard work. Yeah,
you're not actually doing the labor work.
Yeah, so it was cool to come out here and see that, and to live with you and Kai and just see what you guys do on a day to day. I respect the shit out of that. It's awesome, and I wish I knew how to do a lot of those things. And
so different, isn't it? All our friends will, be getting up early and going off, and you're always waving. You drive past your mate on the highway, everyone's just waving, got their morning routine, just going to a job site. Whereas none of my California, Shano does a little bit.
Yeah, Shano's been getting on the tools.
Yeah, Shano doesn't mind bit of hard labour.
Yeah.
His old man runs the company, right?
Runs it down, yeah. Borland Construction.
Borland Construction, yeah. Yeah, it's a different world, eh? What do you reckon, like, I got a question here. It's like, biggest night and biggest fuck up, but they can definitely probably toe into, like, one. What was like, the biggest night you had and you woke up in the morning with fear, just like, oh, no, I've really done it now?
I'm going to need a moment to think about that one.
One comes to mind, actually, that you've told me.
Can you remind me of it?
Yeah, because I want you to talk about this, because I like this. That crazy firework one.
Holy shit.
That's a good one, isn't it?
Yeah, that one's crazy. Okay. Yeah, that's a huge fuck up, actually. We can talk about that.
Yeah, that one was sick.
Alright. I think it's like 2016, maybe 17. In Bali, Canggu.
Wait, how's these cicadas, by the way? Have you noticed the
Dude,
sound?
they're
difference?
so loud. Hopefully the microphone's not picking up on them.
The mic's probably picking up. It'll give a bit of Australian ambience for your Yank friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just, it was like my third year going to Bali, and just, yeah, classic night out in Canggu. Was with all the boys, and ended up getting pretty wasted at Old Man's, and we're on our way to the sandbar, and I didn't want to drive, so I hopped on the back of my friend's dirt bike, and he's like, hey, check out these fucking bottle rockets I just got, or whatever they're called, the Roman candles. He's like, check these out, I just got them at the store next door, like, let's light these things off. I was like, well, fuck yeah, let's do it, like, just not really thinking straight. So we're leaving Old Man's on the back of his bike, and I start lighting them off in the street as we're driving away, and Snapchatting it, thinking it's all funny, and like filming the party on my way out and just having a laugh, and just, yeah, really not putting two and two together, and ended up getting chased by like 6 scooters, 2 dudes on each scooter, and they caught up to us. We thought we were going to get away, like the idiots we were, and they caught up to us in no time and just basically kicked the back tire, and I went flying off the bike, and they caught up to my homie and just knocked him once, and yeah, he just bailed, just left me in the middle of the end of the road, and they all came towards me and started beating the shit out of me. Yeah, it was about as heavy as it gets. Like, fully proper jumped me and telling me they're going to kill me. And, yeah, stomping on me and ripping my hair out and threw me in the gutter and stomped on me some more. Called over 10 more of their friends and just all having a laugh, like, telling me they're just going to slowly kill me, basically. And, yeah, just screaming for my life, but no one there to help. And yeah, in the middle of a dark alley, just kind of accepting what it was, and yeah, they're having fun with it and taking their turns, and ended up an Australian couple actually pulled up on the scene, like, you know, however long into it, just with a little bit of life left in me, and laid on the horn and started screaming, and gave me an opportunity to get up, and jumped on the bike, and yeah, they were surrounding me and trying to break my arm on the bike and not let me leave, saying they weren't finished, and yeah, somehow they just finagled their way through the crowd, and they didn't follow us, and they brought me back. So, yeah, ended up just not wanting to leave the villa for about a week, just so scared, and just bruised up from head to toe and bloody, and yeah, just beaten. Super fucking heavy.
Was it because you were just firing candles in their zone? Like, was it?
Yeah, it just, dude. If you're a white dude in a,
yeah, true. Actually,
you don't fuck around. Like,
no, it's pretty straightforward. You're not driving.
It was
down the
like,
street, letting off
yeah, like,
crackers,
I don't care if you bought the fucking Roman candles right next door and they told you to light them off. You just don't do that. And
yeah, true.
You know, you gotta learn the hard way sometimes. And yeah, I definitely learned a fucking real hard lesson right there, and I didn't probably need that hard of a lesson. I don't think anyone does. It was pretty fucking traumatizing getting jumped. But yeah, I was like, all right, well, here's where it's funny, because like, yeah, you think you learn a lesson, right? And I'm like, I'm never fucking touching fireworks ever again. Like, I'm done, especially here. And then fast forward a year later, here we are in Bali again. And
no cracker.
No, I was like, I'm not fucking touching them. But we went to Lombok on this trip, and
is this the one that just went?
No, this was like this was like, I think 2018 now.
Yeah.
Maybe 17. And it was just the year after, and yeah, we're through Lombok, and my friend's like, hey, let's get some fireworks. Like, dude, don't get those, please. Like, I'm done. I don't want anything to do with them. So I ended up buying them. I was like, whatever you do, just don't bring them back to Bali with us. And we had the car, and then we ended up driving back, and I brought him back to Bali, and it's like one of our last nights before we headed off to Java. And yeah, they started lighting off the Roman candles at our villa, like inland to Ulus, which is pretty secluded and far away. And our villa manager was there, who's a local Indo, and he was like, "Hey, like, you know, it's okay, Jade. Like, you can light them off. No one's gonna fucking hurt you. It's okay. There's no one here. Like, you're fine." And that was kind of my worry. I wasn't thinking about anything else. I was like, all right, as long as we're safe and it's okay and like it's not gonna piss anyone off and we're allowed to do this, like, okay, let's do it, right?
Yeah.
So they lit them all off. I was like, I'll let you guys do it. I don't want anything to do with it still, but I'll let you guys do it. All good. So it comes down to the last Roman candle, and the boy's like, "Here you go, Jade. Like, just light this one off." I was like, "Fuck it. All right, I'll do the last honors." So I light them all off, and it's like, "Duts, duts, duts," and it gets down to the last one. There's 10 in there. It gets down to the 10th bullet, and it just goes, just like this little puff. I was like, "Oh, where'd that thing go?" And it just goes, boom, just blows up in my fucking hand. And these things are powerful. It was like a little mortar in my hand, you know. And I was right below the telephone wire, and this thing just shot up to the telephone wire, came right back to me, and electrocuted me. So not only did it blow up in my hand, but this thing's just gone poof, and then and I'm just convulsing on the ground, getting electrocuted. I couldn't hear anything. It felt like a bomb just went off. I thought my face was gone. It was so heavy, and there's a full video of it. I think I've showed you.
Me the video.
Like
it's
the gnarliest video ever.
You know, it looks like, you know, when you see videos of like lightning hitting somewhere close, and there's just a big white flash.
It was one of those full white flash moment. Like I couldn't hear anything forever, and I didn't have.
Lightning.
Ended up, my face was fully fine. Nothing happened to it. Like maybe a bit of singed eyebrow hair, but minor. And then my hand was fully numb, and I was like, yeah, my hand's just like. That's just how it's gonna be now, you know. Like, I don't see this going away, and it was like that for 3 days, and then all of a sudden, just the next day, I just welcomed my hands back, like fully came back, luckily. But I was scared about the ringing in my ear too, but the ringing went away. But I've heard horror stories about that never going away.
That's so nice.
So yeah, as much as I said, yeah, you learn your lessons, but sometimes you got to learn them twice.
Sometimes.
And now I definitely don't fuck with fireworks. I haven't touched one since, but it took me 2 hard lessons. So
I haven't had much time with fireworks, so I think that is good that I don't trust myself with any explosive item anywhere near me after a few beers.
Yeah.
But yeah, fire, that's so nice. You were saying like earlier, like, man, when you got the shit beaten out of you by those lads, you were saying like that'd be pretty heavy traumatic, huh? Like, surely you were like wigging for years after that.
It was just, for me, it was like, I know they were like trying to kill me, but like for me, I was like, dude, I've got a brain aneurysm. If they hit me one wrong hit, I'm fucking done right now. So the whole time I'm fearing.
Oh man.
Like, going, this is it. Like, you know, it's like, I can't have that much head trauma. I can't take those hits. Like, yeah. I'm not a fighter. I don't want anything to do with that. Like, I'm trying to avoid that as much as possible. So that was scary. And like, for me knowing that, and like, yeah, and of course years after, like, that's, I never ever wanted, not that I was throwing hits back or fighting, I was just surrendering, but like, even just to be in that environment, like, I don't want to be in a fight. I don't want that in my life. No way. Like, for sure, it's traumatic.
Well, yeah. Well, like, when it comes to like trauma and how that can affect your mental health, I know you've like spoken to me before about some stuff when you were younger that's obviously like with your mum passing and all.
Yeah.
Obviously that's like a pretty major thing that's going to play on your mind. Just like growing up, going through school and getting older, and how did you deal with that? You know, that's kind of stuff that could take, I know people that have had childhood trauma and stuff and things like that and feel that they're alright and it comes and pounces on them when they're older, but you seem to have pretty much just got your head around it.
Yeah, it's a never-ending process, but I've figured out some tools that work for myself over the years and just self-developed ways to, you know, handle stuff, especially with a lot of loss. Like, I feel like I've lost so many people in my life, important people that, like, you know, that it's weighs a big toll on you, and you could grieve on it, but you could also turn it into a light and just learn how to maneuver around life so it doesn't fuck with you so much, because it's constantly trying to attack you, right? Like, so, like, of course, how can you just try to enjoy the ride as peacefully as possible and just, so I've just created these tools and avenues, and I don't know, I think one that I was sharing with you is just like how I give gratitude and thanks every day and just check in with my people up above. Like, I think that's such a big thing for me is, you know, like, I just want to give my thanks to them. So like I have like, you know, before I go surf, or it doesn't have to be before anything, but just sometimes I just have moments in the day where I'm like, oh, here's my time to check in. And I check in with my people, and you know, it's like I have a list of all my people, and I go.
And these are all the people that you've lost, huh?
Yeah, like I can run you through what I say. Like it's pretty simple, but it's
You don't have to, but yeah, that's cool. That's you're just checking in on your angels, essentially.
Yeah, just checking
in. Thanks, everyone.
I'll tell you. I just go, hey, Mama, Papa, Grandma, Blake, Malcolm, Catherine, Lise, Lucas, Charlie, Zane, GR, Nick, Logan, Cindy, Bizza, everyone up there watching over me. I love you all very much. I miss you. Like, thank you so much for giving me this life, these opportunities, these people, this community, and my health. Like, please keep watching over me and my people, and you know, everyone that's in my life. And like, I love you guys. I miss you guys. I hope you're taking care of each other up there. And yeah, I'm just blessed. Thank you for these moments in life right now, right here. And yeah, please keep letting me do this, because I'm forever in love with it. So that's just things like that where I just get to talk to someone, or else I just talk to myself. So, but just putting it out there, and like, just checking with them and saying their names and just thinking about them. And you know, I can say it fast there, but then some moments when I have time, I'll just individually think of each one of them and spend more time. And like, yeah, it just depends on where I'm at in life. But that's been a real good tool for me to like just get through hard times, and yeah, just keep moving on and appreciating it.
And do you like meditate, yoga, things like that?
Yeah, of course. I was lucky in high school. Like I went to this arts and crafts high school, basically, where my first period was surf PE, and then I'd go to yoga, and then I'd have like, you know, an English or math, and then maybe screen printing or sculpture. So yeah, I got introduced to yoga pretty early on, and that became a pretty huge thing after my accident too. That was definitely recommended, like, you know, do some yoga and just try to maintain that kind of mentality and just live that peaceful life. So yeah, yoga became a big part of my life, and ended up practicing for, since early high school days. So it's always been a part of my life. And then meditation I never necessarily sat down and meditated. I definitely had like my own forms of it. I think for us, like, you know, surfing's such a form of meditation, and pottery was a form of meditation, and these outlets that were you're getting in that flow state, and you're just checking out and tuning in with what's in front of you. So those were kind of always my forms of meditation. And then I didn't really tap into it until I ended up doing that Vipassana.
Yeah, I had written down, tell me about Vipassana.
Yeah.
That thing sounded crazy. Holy crap.
Yeah, it was perfect timing, to be real. Like, I was just finishing up work up on the Gold Coast, and you know, when I moved to Oz, I was like, you know, I'm moving across the world. Like, I want it to be really challenging. Yeah. And like, for sure I had challenges, but it was also a really easy move. Like, moving from America to Australia, it's not too different. Like, it wasn't like, I don't know, I just didn't have these like crazy challenges that I was really after in life. I just wanted something big. So yeah, I had the wild idea to like sign up for this Vipassana basically after hearing about it and like, I didn't know anything about it, but important people in my life kept mentioning it, or it just was one of those things where I'd never heard about it. Then you hear the word, and then more people keep saying it, and then it just comes into your life.
I was like, your awareness.
Yeah, I was like, what is this? Like, what is this Vipassana thing? Like, why? And like, some people that I would just kind of connect to on like a different wavelength were like mentioning it. I'm like, why? There's something's up here. Like, I got to do some research and see what this is all about. So I ended up looking into it, and I was like, fuck, they do them in Australia. Like, I can sign up, and you got to sign up in advance because it's free.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So a lot of people want to do it. It's in high demand, and I ended up signing up for one, and then 3 months later it was like, it just popped up. I was like, whoa, like, I'm about to move to the South Coast. Like, before I do that, let's go tap in and do this. And I don't think I knew what I was signed up for. Holy moly. It was so beyond challenging, but in so many beneficial ways. So I basically, what it is it's a 10-day silent meditation retreat where you just go in there, hand in your phone, no technology, no notebooks, nothing, like no eye contact, no physical touch. You're basically fasting. Your last meal is at like 11 a.m. And you're just completely separated and have your own room, and all meet up in this meditation hall basically for pretty much 10 hours a day. and you just sit there and meditate, and you learn you learn these different techniques, like Anapana to start, and you learn how to like basically feel a sensation underneath your nose for 3 days. And then once you learn how to do that, then you learn how to feel the sensation throughout your whole body. So you do this like flow and mass meditation. And the theory is basically you have all these like, you're trying to eradicate these sankharas, which are like these deeply rooted pains or traumas in your body. So whether it's emotional pain or physical pain, but yeah, everyone's kind of got these from over the years of build up, and you're essentially trying to go in there and meditate, feel them, process them, and then like remove them through this process. And you just learn how to become equanimous. So like the whole deal is like equanimity is like you just want to be completely, you don't want to crave anything and you don't want to advert from anything. So you're just on this like even playing field with everything in life. So if it's super painful, it's going to be the same as if it's super joyful, sort of deal.
Yeah, okay. You explained it to me.
Yeah, so
like if you feel a pain, you just go, that's just something that my mind's telling me.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like you kind of just...
You kind of just accept it, see it for what it is, and move on. And just like, it's a weird thing because like I went there to try to get out of pain, which I ended up doing, and I'll tell you about that. But you're sitting in the most pain ever. Like sitting in a lotus pose and trying to meditate for 5 minutes hurts me. Trying to do it all day, every day for 10 days is so gnarly.
What's a lotus?
Just like your classic looking,
the sitting one where you cross your legs up.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, just your standard looking meditation pose. So. It was beyond challenging. The no talking wasn't that hard for me. No phone, minor, didn't care about it, didn't miss surfing. The hard part for me was not having music, not having like some sort of music. Like I missed it so much. And another thing was like just physical touch. Like I wanted to just go hug someone so fucking bad. And you just can't do it. Like. And so those two things were what got me. So it was pretty interesting to like realize what I would actually miss, and that's just like, a bit of music and rhythm and just community, I think, and people, and just being able to physical touch and just give someone a hug if you want, simple things. But so that was my introduction to meditation on that level. I didn't really practice much. Like, it was funny, like, before going off, like, right before, my housemate's like, dude, you're really about to do that? Like, 10 days? Like, yeah, right, you're not making it. Like, let's try to do 1 minute right now.
Do people not make it?
Oh, fuck no. No, people fully drop out, yeah. Only 2 guys dropped out and 1 girl dropped out on this, on the one I was at.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's like, they don't recommend that, because if a lot of people are going there because they're going through some gnarly shit, and they're going there, so if you go through and you can't make it, it's gonna mess you up.
Yeah, fully.
Knowing that you couldn't do it, like...
Yeah,
because dude, you got to surrender. Like once you're there, you're committed. There's no half-assing it. You're there. You're stuck. Minutes feel like hours. Hours feel like days. Days feel like months. Like you're committed. You're so in it.
Man.
And you look at the monk teaching you, and like that's up there at the front. And you're like, dude, this is life. Like this is what he's not gonna get out of this and go get barreled next week and like go see his homies and have a good like. I have so much to look forward to. This guy's going to be in Lotus for the rest of his life. Like, it's so gnarly. Like,
wow.
So like after that, I was kind of like, I took so many things out of it, but I definitely like, I haven't kept up the practice, to be honest. No way. Like, in ways I have, but I'm not, like, they recommended, like at least an hour a day.
Yeah. And
like, truthfully, there's no way I've even tapped into a full hour since then.
Yeah. Have you done a bit at all?
For sure, I've done a little bit here and there. Yeah. Like I'm tapping in some ways and incorporating it into other things, but I have not been practicing like. No, it was not, dude. It was to get to the point to where you need to get. It takes so much, and it takes a super consistent practice. Without that, it's just it's suffering at its finest. It's so hard. Man. So like, I have different forms that I use now, but like, to get like. If I could just tap into how I felt on day 7 or 8 and to get to that euphoric flow and mass body feeling where I'm just feeling sensations off the whiz up all over my whole body, like if I can just go straight back to that, I'd be practicing every day, no worries. But like
7 days,
it's a lot of effort, it's a lot of time, and it's Time's valuable.
Oh man, that is like the last thing that I could ever picture myself doing. I can't even sit 5 minutes without fizzing around and talking and touching.
Yeah.
Oh, that's oh man, when you tell me about that,
You can't bring any of your fidget spinners with you either.
Oh, I'd be done, man. Imagine if I didn't have my little clicker. I'd be so done.
No clicker.
Well, what kind of music would you say is like your favourite?
Dude, that's always changing.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of a hard one, that.
It's a hard one for sure.
Do you have a few favourite artists in like your go-tos for each mood? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure. Like, definitely, like, I'm never gonna be bummed if Bob Marley or Jack Johnson come on. Like, those are, if I'm just trying to cruise and have a mellow one, like,
yeah,
they're coming on. But I don't mind anything. Like, I've learned about so much new music since living with you, and like whole new genres of music, really, and been loving exploring all that and tapping into the new Spotify DJ. And
I've been hitting it while you're gone.
Yeah,
I've been hitting it. It's fully
Discover Weekly's been throwing some new tunes. Like, no, I've been music. I kind of grew up going, fuck, I like everything but country. Like, that was my thing. Like, I just didn't like it. I don't know why, even though I grew up in it. Like, I just didn't like it. And then now it's like I love country now. Like, I love every. There's not much music I don't. There's not a lot of music that I don't have techno and all this shit on my iPhone. But like, if I were to go out to a club, I'm gonna get down to anything. Or if I'm out and seeing live music, I'm gonna love it. Like,
yeah.
It's pretty rare I go see live music and I'm like, oh, that sucks.
That was shit.
Like, no, I like just appreciate it more and find new stuff. Like,
yeah. So
yeah, music's forever changing for me, but I think that's the beauty of it. Like,
what do you reckon's your most played genre?
Probably reggae.
It's got to be reggae, hasn't it? Has to be.
Yeah.
So good, man.
You can't go wrong. For me, it's like energy's everything. If you're gonna put on some heavy, dark music, like, that's gonna be your energy. Like, you're carrying that with you.
Oh,
like,
exactly.
if I'm putting on reggae and an upbeat, nice tune, it's
can't be sad.
Oh, I'm just, smiles all around. Like,
my reggae playlist is called Fear Away.
Yeah, you don't want the fear. Like,
I don't want fear. I want it away.
So it's like, yeah, sometimes I'll tap into some darker stuff, but it's not what I'm trying to put on every day.
Yeah, for sure. All right. So, like, you got anything else coming up? Any projects? I guess you're in the midst of a project, really, aren't you? This milk is still you're kind of still premiering, so you're getting the fruits of your labor at this point.
Yeah, but that was all like so last minute, unexpected. So that's like, I guess there's a little bit more of that coming. Maybe another premiere or two, and then put it online and see how that goes. But I definitely am working on this other project with Hookie as well, from a trip down to Tasmania last year, and just trying to figure out some ways to tell a story through there.
Mm-hmm.
And do another trip down there as well. So that'd be cool. But projects, like, for me, like, my big goal and project right now is try to figure out how I can have a pottery studio here and just be able to teach. That's kind of my big goal at the moment is...
Yeah, you got to work something out there.
Just figuring out how I can bring something to the community here, and I think that's it. Like, being able to teach classes on the wheel, because there's such a niche here. Like, so many people are into it and want to learn.
So many, man.
Hand building is kind of everyone's means of doing it here. Like, everyone loves to hand build, and that's awesome. I back that, but it's like I can bring the wheel and teach that to the community here. So I think there's a need, and that's kind of where my head's at and goal. Like, surfing's just for fun. I'm just trying to get my body healthy enough to even be able to go for a paddle right now. I'm not really thinking about much else. So, but yeah, pottery, definitely want to kind of tap more into that and see where that project takes me. And nothing too crazy. I'm just excited to be here for the season and bunker down and work a bunch and just enjoy the place.
And for the next few years, is that kind of, you more or less summed it up there? You want to try and be able to get something going down here and hang and not have to move out.
Yeah, that's the goal. I'm not leaving until they physically
until you get thrown. Yeah.
Like, this is hopefully forever home.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you slipped right on in. That's for sure.
Yeah, thanks to you and everyone for bringing me in and just bringing me into the right people, because that's everything. It's like, imagine moving to a town and not knowing anyone, and then you meet the wrong people. Like, that's going to change the whole trajectory. But like, I came in with a red carpet ride into the best crew ever, and like
just a good attitude, man. That's all it takes. Hey, if someone comes and brings good to the team, then like everyone wants like another lord in the team. The bigger your friend group, the more friends you have. Life is better with more friends.
For sure.
Yeah, sweet, Rob. Well, thanks for having a yarn with me. I've been really looking forward to trying to get this conversation done, because just some of the stuff we talked about in Indo, like having all that time and just us hanging and not really everything we did was together. I heard all sorts of stuff and I was like, what? No way. Like, just, you come across as a pretty just mellow, level-headed guy. Like, you just sort of breeze through, just cruising around and surfing and smoking weed in California. It turns out you got all kinds of crazy stuff, and it's just cool to see how you can just keep it mellow and just always be relatively level-headed. And it's been a pleasure living with you, especially over the past couple of years with the ups and downs, and been an absolute honour. I'm stoked to be able to have a yarn with you, bruv.
Oh, thank you, Rav. Yeah, stoked we got to finally do this, and
yeah,
looking forward to all these coming out and seeing where this takes you. It's a pretty awesome project that you're working on. So
if I ever release it,
if it ever does come out, congratulations, because it's a
if it ever comes out, bruv, we'll get there. Eh? All right, let's wrap it up then.
Let's go make some
Good
burgers.
Night. Let's go make some burgers.
It's burger night.